Good morning and welcome to TMI Socials, where we talk everything trendy on the street of social media. I am Anuluapo Stevens. Or better still call me a social media butterfly. Now this morning we kickstart with the biggest story at the moment on social media. We also saw a former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has stated that President Bola Tinubu rejected him as a ministerial nominee and not the National Assembly. Well, he made the disclosure on Monday while speaking during an interview on a national television program. News actually had it that Tinubu nominated El-Rufai for a ministerial appointment while forming his cabinet. However, the National Assembly rejected the ex-Kaduna governor based on what sources linked to security concerns. The former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory said the president changed his mind on the nomination after asking him publicly not to be far from him after leaving office. Now let's take a listen to Nasir El-Rufai yesterday with what he said.
I've never, since I left office and the, the president begged me publicly to come and serve in his government, I had my plans and I told President Tinubu from day one when he asked me to support him, I said I would, but I don't want anything, okay? Because politics in Nigeria is always about what do I get for giving you support. I'm not in politics for that reason. I'm not in politics to get anything. I have a surname, I'm a self-made man, I have made my money before coming into public office. I don't need anything. After 8 years in Kaduna, I was nearly burnt out. I was struggling for 8 years and I wanted to take a break and I had my private plans. The president publicly appealed to me to put my plans on hold, and through 2 months of negotiation, we finally agreed that he would nominate me as minister, and there were certain conditions I attached to that. I think along the line, either the president changed his mind or something else, because please don't believe the story that the National Assembly rejected me. The National Assembly had nothing to do with this. The president didn't want me in his cabinet. He changed his mind, whatever it is, frankly.
Right. So there you have it. The National Assembly did not reject me. They do not have the right. It was present. I love how he was calmly talking, though. Such a beautiful speech and conversation yesterday. But away from that, let's move over to tweets and see how Nigerians is to reacting to this on social media. Well, this user says, "What's happening with this man? You know they tire for power, nee. Which kind things be all this one? If you were appointed, is it not to embezzle our money? Pack well." Okay, plenty needed. Another user says something else. This one says, "Senate President doesn't have the guts to sabotage El-Rufai ministerial nomination when the President has interest to work with him, El-Rufai. It is something we must understand before he compassed." Okay, still on the story, all the tweets. "Don't worry, next time he will make you a minister." That's what this guy is saying. Well, moving over to all the reactions on this one. Finally, this user says, "The guy is deeply pained. Tinubu was right to have rejected him. He's not the kind of person you keep close to you. Look at what he did to Obasanjo that gave him all the opportunities." Anyway, away from that, moving over to another trending video. Well, this time around, Omoyele Sowore is always in the news for interesting reasons, but this time around, the former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, has confronted officials of the Nigeria Police Force and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for preventing him from entering the premises of the Federal High Court. Sowore told the officers that he was not former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, who has an ongoing case with the commission over alleged financial misappropriation. Well, the ex-AAC presidential candidate, who is also a human rights activist, resisted every officer's attempt to obstruct him. Take a look.
Good morning, how are you now? Say, who are you shouting? Who is that? Do I look like Yahaya Bello to you? I beg, go and sit down. Go and sit down. Hey, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Yes.
I'm a police officer.
So what?
Come out.
I'm not coming out.
Who are you? Can I know you?
I have a business in court.
Okay, please.
No, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out. You can't clear me. You are not an officer of the court.
Hello, sir.
You are an EFCC officer.
Hello, sir.
You have no business standing in front of the court.
I'm talking to you now.
So
Please.
why is he jumping at me?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes.
Please, what can I do for
This
you?
is a federal high court.
Yes, you are.
Bring a court official, I'll talk to the person.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm a policeman.
Or you have a senior. How are you? You are not a court official. You are allowed EFCC to be flying at people in court. That's what the nonsense the DSS does here too. It's not taking it easy now. They are the ones who bring us to court. EFCC for that matter. Yes. There's no issue. I have a court case. Please. Leave the road. Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I'll restrict you.
You can't restrict me. You can't.
No.
There's no order given to you that can prevent me from going to. You can't. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. No, I'm not going to call anybody to tell you a case I have.
It's how it said, do I look like Yahaya Bello to you? That was just completely off. But eventually he got allowed in and everything went out smoothly. Let's have a couple of tweets and see how you took the story on social media. Well, this user says, he should be calming down. You don't talk to uniformed men like that. They are only doing their jobs. That's Constance Ebere on Instagram. Another user says, this is how every citizen should take a stand against wrongful practices. Eternal vigilance is the hallmark of a true democracy. Well, still in the story, moving over to the next one, this user says, do some of these police officers even know constitutional rights, ethics, and code of conduct of certain institutions? Are they trained on the needful? No. Many of them are only used as puppets, as a tool of oppression, suppress on and victimization, an institution created to protect and as a defense of life and property is made to do otherwise. I hope someday we are free from this menace. One more reaction on the story from this user who has something else to say. Cecilia says, nobody fight police for this country past Sowore. He's always in the news for interesting reasons. Anyway, away from that, this story actually trended a couple of days ago. The Director General of the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, on Saturday visited the agency's enforcement office in Apapa, Lagos, to inspect illicit pharmaceuticals confiscated from the Idumota open drug market. Well, during the inspection, Adeyeye observed that the NAFDAC warehouse was packed to capacity with some seized drugs stored in the director's office due to the volume of confiscated items. Addressing journalists after the tour, she emphasized that the agency's operations were solely focused on safeguarding public health. Adeyeye further pointed out that many shops in these drug markets operate without registration from the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, making them illegal from the outset. Now take a look at what she said.
So we are not disturbing trade, we are protecting lives. We couldn't have done it ourselves without NSA. It is security risk for our country. What BBC showed will break your heart. Young men that have been rendered useless. So what NAFDAC is doing is what NAFDAC is supposed to do. Safeguarding. There is no politics in what we are doing. No politics in what we are doing. Most of the shops are not registered by PCN. PCN registers sites and the people working at the sites. So the rules have been broken right from the beginning. And to see many of these products being in our own, okay, this is another one. Tramadol, 225. This will fry the brain of anybody. This will...
Oh, very Basically, I just feel say no to drugs, and having bad drugs right now in the country is a lot. Big shout out to NAFDAC boss for doing her bits dutifully. How did you take the story online? A couple of users are still saying the return of Dora Akunliyi, if you remember her, the late Dora Akunliyi. I beg, make una no kill this one for us. So I can't even drink ordinary stuff in peace these days, not to talk of wine and spirits. Another user on Instagram says, let's see where we have. This one says, Nigerians are not ready for change. See how people are attacking NAFDAC. God help us. Well, still on this beat, moving on to something else. Please, right on, Mama. Nobody's complaining. You are doing your job. This set of people are ready to kill everyone due to their own selfishness. And finally, on the story, Better Culture on Instagram says, Madam, who cleared those goods? Start with sacking those officials first. Philip.
Well, beautiful stories, I must say. But it points out to the fact that if you must make yourself into the news positively, then you must have a story to tell. You must have something to tell. I will look at the likes of Dora Akunliyi, and I want to see people like her to help salvage what we have in the country. And of course, the story about El-Rufai.
I knew you were going to react to it.
I know there are stories coming. He's got a lot to say, and thumbs up to him. But basically, Nigerians are waiting for more that he has to say. And of course, that of Omoyele. Well, what do I say? Well, all matters about how you take yourself. If you take yourself important, then the country will see you as important. And most especially when you know your rights. Well, that's much we can take on today's TMI, interesting package, you may say. We'll do the same time tomorrow. Keep it. I am Philip Omo Gupo. Bye for now.